guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing the not TBR tag. On Reads channel. I will link his video down below, and I just sort of thought it was a very interesting tag to do. It looks like it was originally created by Bookish Hamster. I will leave her video down below as well, and this is a very short tag. It only has 4 questions plus the option to tag people, so let's start with question number 1. Question number 1 is the abandoned pile. What genre are you most likely never going to add to your TBR? For me personally, that's going to be most anything that is non-fiction, like historical, history kind of stuff. If it was a historical fiction, I probably actually would read it, but I don't like the very, very dry, sort of textbooky type of books, but also I find myself steering away from the typical adult contemporaries where it seems to follow like a middle-aged woman and all the bad things that are currently happening in her life. I just really don't prefer that, so those I usually just completely stay away from in the bookstore. Number 2 is To Be Denied. What book in particular comes to your mind that you will never read? This one is sort of hard for me, but I do want to say the first one that's probably popping up is actually Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I don't know, some of those typical classics that are just not quite my genre, I guess. I think we're gonna go with that. I was trying to think if there was any other like young adult type of book that I know for a fact I just will never pick up. And the only other thing I can think about that might be a young adult book is like Fallen by Lauren Kate. It just seems to be something that like I've heard about, but it's never completely interested me. That's not to say I would never read it, but at this point in time, that's sort of how I'm feeling. Number 3 is Nevermore. Is there an author you don't want to give a chance or even a second chance? So I am very hesitant to give another chance to the combined writers of Aaron Watt. That is the name of 2 different authors who write the Royals series, which has like Paper Princess, Broken Prince, and Twisted Palace. I first read those books in December of 2016. I had downloaded some ebooks to take with me to China when I was going on a trip with my husband, then was my fiance, and I read the first one. It was okay, and then it just sort of devolved from there into a really sort of crazy convoluted soap opera. And not only that, my biggest issue was that they had a guy who was supposed to be the love interest who was being very creepy and sort of giving off very bad, like, not necessarily abuse vibes, but very strong, like he would not take no for an answer from the girl, and for whatever reason, everything that he kept doing and pushing himself onto her, all of a sudden for her was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. But she had told him no so many times. It was just that trope in books I hate. I'm not gonna be mad if somebody else loves it. Like, I understand why some people like these books, but because that happened for pretty much the entire second book, I did not like that one. I tried reading the 3rd book to see if it got any better, and that one didn't have as much of like the really, really creepy, domineering guy in it, but it did have really weird, crazy, like soap opera-y style conflict and I think murder, and I don't know. It was just a little bit too crazy for me. So there was a new book that came out by Aaron Watt, which is called One Small Thing, and that one actually sounds like it might be a little bit better, but I'm very hesitant to try that out. So if any of you guys have read that, let me know what you thought about it, because I'm, at this point in time, not really wanting to give them any other chances. And then number 4 is the TBR Pile. We are supposed to pick 5 books from your TBR pile that you know you will never read and yet is still going to be on your TBR pile for forever, basically. Let me take a look and I will be right back. Okay, so I think I have 5 that work for this. Some of these I am pretty sure I might not get to them. I picked them up forever ago. They might not be my genre that I really like anymore. Other ones I'm more intimidated to continue with or to get to that book, so let's just talk about these. The first one is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This is one that I had heard lots and lots of things about before, lots of good things on BookTube. It's been a little while since I've heard anything about this. I don't fully remember what it's about. I did get it as a bargain book at Barnes & Noble, so I got this hardcover for like $7 total maybe. But recently I had a friend come over who, he is a friend that likes to read lots of books. His name is David. You guys have probably seen him if you ever watched my friend picks my TBR video that I did a couple months ago, because he was helping me pick my books. But this is one that he absolutely loved, but at the same time, he is pretty sure I will not like as much because he just knows it's like his type of book and not mine. I still feel like I might want to do it one day, but it's a sort of thick, intimidating book. I've heard that I might like her other book better, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, so maybe I will pick that one up eventually, but at least for this one, it's still on my TBR. I might get to it. We'll see. And then I also have The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. This is a book that I picked up at a used book sale a few years ago. I was on a really, really big Camelot and King Arthur type of kick, and so this was a very classic one that you usually hear about. I actually have, I think, the first 3 books in this series on my TBR, on my bookshelves right now. This one is the thickest, and so again, it's just a little bit intimidating. I'm really hoping that I will get to it and like it one day, but as of right now, I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. Then I also have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is one that I really do want to get to, especially since I have heard so many good things about like Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I've heard good things about this as well, just not as many good things. But it has literally been so long since I bought this. Like, this is the old cover. They have new covers now for the books in this series, and so I really do want to read it, but there's so many other books that have been coming out that I feel like this just keeps getting pushed further and further back. Then I have The One by Kiera Cass. This is the 3rd book in the Selection series. I read the Selection and the Elite years ago, and I really enjoyed them for what they were. They're really quick books. I feel like I should pick them up and reread them so I can read this one, because it's just been forever since I've read it. But that's part of the reason I'm picking this one. It's a 3rd book. I'm not counting the other ones in the series. Like, I only feel this is a trilogy, at least for me personally. And this is like the last book. And I have noticed I'm really, really bad about reading last books in a series. This one, I read the first 2. I did enjoy them. I need to pick this up, but again, it just keeps getting pushed further and further back when new books come out. And then finally, I have Opposition by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I actually purchased this book when the original ones came out in this shiny, glittery, holographic type of cover. I actually read the first 2 bind-ups, so the first 4 books in the series. I did enjoy them. I had all 5 books at the same time, purchased them all the same day, read the other 4, and just never read the last one. Again, I don't know what it is about me and last books in a series. I've actually been doing this a lot with my ebooks as well. I've been purchasing books in a series from certain independent authors that I absolutely love, and I've been reading them, and then I get to the last book, and it just sort of sits there. And I feel like part of it is because I actually have been reading those books when they come out, and then the last book maybe takes a while and I want to reread the other books before I get to that one, but it's still, they're still sitting there. So again, I know I should read this. I enjoyed the first ones enough that I should want to finish, but I haven't yet. The last prompt is the to be TBR'd, which is to tag certain people to do this video. I have not really tagged anybody ever to do videos like this. I'm not even entirely sure how to go about that. So I'm just gonna say, if you guys want to do this tag, you should. It's fairly new. I think they just created it like 2 to 3 weeks ago, and so it was really fun. It's really quick to do, and if you want to do it, might as well, right? If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up every Monday and Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye!